the music of the orchestra and band traditions can be pretty complex. So it isn't sufficient just to use a steady click like a metronome. We have speed ups and slowdowns. We have pauses. We have meter changes. Take a look at this clip from Stravinsky's Rite of Spring. We are in 126 to the 8th note. We go from 316 to 216, back to 316 for 2 measures, and then to a 2/8 measure. Let's design that into our DAW because we need to be able to have it in our grid in order to make a click that is meaningful for this score. Wonderful. Okay, so let's change our first time signature to 316. If it isn't in this list, you can go custom and go 316. Fantastic. Our whole grid is 316 right now. Wonderful. We go to measure 0. Measure 1 is in 316. Measure 2 is 216. We can do it up here, and you can see that we go from 316 to 216. It changes the meter of the measure that our playhead is placed at. So let's go to measure 3. That is another 316. We can also open up our list view, and we are in our signature tab. We can add from here. So if you're clear on your measure count, you can set this up fairly easily. Let's go to measure 5, and we add that here, 2/8. That's our final measure. Wonderful. We have a click. Let's hear what that sounds like with Logic's built-in metronome. Good. You can hear how it subdivides 16th notes for the first couple measures and then 8th notes once we get to the 2/8. Wonderful. Let's actually design our own click. Let's click off that metronome, and I'm going to create an empty MIDI region. And with the pencil tool, which is here, I can draw in clicks on every downbeat. Good. And let's give 2/8 notes for that 2/8 measure. Let's hear what that sounds like. Good. You notice, yeah, we have a fermata right here on the 3rd 16th note of the first measure. So let's design that in. Let's zoom in. We have 1, 2, 3. Here's where it happens. We open up the tempo tab. You can see that right now we're all at 70 BPM, 70 to the quarter note. We are able to add another tempo, and let's say, oh, this goes down to 20 beats per minute, and hear what that sounds like. Good. We have to be sure to recover the tempo on the next downbeat. Let's bring that all the way down to 15. See how that sounds. Good. That works out pretty well. Wonderful. Sometimes we want to design in a writ or in a accelerando. We could do that in a number of different ways. In this case, let's say, okay, from this point, I'm going to accelerate. So we're going to do something called a tempo curve. We're going to use this options and tempo operations to design a tempo curve. We are going to go from measure 2 to measure 6 and go from measure 70 BPM to 120 BPM to the quarter note. We're going to make the resolution or density of that tempo curve to be 30-second notes. So there's going to be a slight tempo change on every 30-second notes in a very, very clear ramp. We can change the curve type of this. We can do all sorts of fun things like that. Let's do this. We'll apply it. And you can see it generates all these tempo changes on every 30-second note up until measure 6, where it then dips back down to 70 BPM. Let's hear how that sounds. Good. So we have a nice rushing happening. You can design these sort of things in order to help you. From this point, you could send it out to your players and say, okay, this is our click. It starts in measure 0, so be prepared. What I like to do is actually, actually design in a little bit of producer talk beforehand. This sort of sets your players at ease and gets them ready for the job ahead. Let's do that. Hi guys, I hope you're well. Let's get ready to record. Here we go. That happens really, really fast. Let's slow down the tempo back here and give ourselves some room. Tempo, we add 30 BPM. Great. And let's change this 70 BPM to happen on -1. Good. Wonderful. Let's try that again. Hi there, guys. Please get ready to record. You're going to have 1 beat of click, and then you're in on measure 1. Here we go. Ready? Good. That works out pretty well. Let's hear that back. Hi there, guys. Please get ready to record. You're going to have 1 beat of click, and then you're in on measure 1. Here we go. Ready? Good. You could send a clip like that out to your musicians, and they would be just fine to record something to that click. So I hope this helps. We need to now talk about doing something a little bit more musical, more with the flow of a conductor to whatever musical flow they desire. So here we go.